Yeah, my internet is a bit unsteady.
Yeah, that's cool. Let's see if we have everybody though. Not sure if we have everybody still there. So we'll know in a second if we're still live. I see it's still going, so I'm hoping that everybody is still there. All
Okay.
right, yeah, we've gotten a response back, so we're all right. So yeah, so everybody is back, so we're good. No, it's at
Okay.
Aruba. It's not Kingston this time. Steel Pulse. So Steel
Yeah.
Pulse remind yeah. So both of you needed a draw. You're saying, but you're saying you thought something.
No, I thought that he will just play just a serious game against me.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason for him to take a draw. So it was 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks of hell for me. Just thinking about, let's say, if it just continues and yeah, just go for the win. And let's say if I just collapse on that moment, on that specific time, that would
Well,
suck a lot.
we're happy you didn't.
Fortunately for me, he took my draw offer, and by that became IM.
Well
And I
done.
still remember it was the best feeling. Like when I reached FIDE Master in Trinidad and Tobago in 2014, it's when I reached it, I remember I didn't feel, I don't know, complete, or I didn't feel like I really achieved something big. When I reached IM, it definitely felt it. I definitely felt it. Like this is my life's work in a way, and I finally can say I'm
Yeah,
a
man.
deserving in a way master.
Nice, nice. Really
So
happy
yeah,
for that journey. You chose the second game against Borges. What's special about this game to you?
the good. Okay.
Game two.
This game is interesting. So So this game was actually the last tournament I played. It was in March, just before the whole pandemic. So there was a tournament in Portugal. I was invited by an arbiter. I got conditions because I was an international master. And at that time, I thought, you know what, just try to travel the world and playing chess. So that's one benefit of becoming an IM. You get conditions. So I played this round, and what's important about this game was actually it was the second day of the tournament. It was a 7-round tournament, and this game was the third game of I think the third game of the day. And the round before, I lost a crucial game against an international master, a really tense game. Like we were both in time trouble, complicated position. I was a bit worse before, then I came back, and yeah, I didn't come. I didn't. I lost the game, so it was really hard. So this game, I was coming a bit fuming as well. So this game is interesting. I just want to show you really quickly. So I played the white pieces. I played d4, and then again, what my friends told me: if you want to win with white, you have to play London. So I played London.
You're making it hard on me. I tell a couple of my students I need to get them playing D4, C4 to widen the horizon because they're London players. You're making this hard on me.
Oh, but okay, let me help you in a way. That London has been great to me, but d4, c4, you will learn a lot more about chess than London. London is a good line to play after you develop your skills in d4, c4. It's not like on the contrary. You shouldn't start with London first and then after d4, c4. You should start with d4, c4 first and then London.
Beautiful. I'll quote
That's
you.
something that I could recommend full-heartedly. Definitely, that's the way you should do it. But okay, so I played London. Knight f3, bishop e6, c5, knight bt2. Let's see, I think one funny fact is, if you play e6 here, let's say if you just want to maintain the flexibility of the structure, this is actually a common mistake. You'll play your knight c4, you're threatening knight e6 check, winning the bishop there, and after d5, you'll play knight 4 to e5. And the threat is actually two aces, bishop e5 check and the simple knight g5. And this is actually quite pleasant already. Quite pleasant for white. For instance, bishop d6, bishop check. You have a really awkward question now you have to answer to yourself. Because king f8 is not the move you want to play, and king e7 also you don't want to play.
And there's
So you're already on the back foot.
Yeah, and there's some knight f7 ideas if you block on d7 too.
Yes. Yes. Or I can even take.
Yeah.
Just do it simple, right?
Yeah.
Also knight f7 if you want to go fancy.
Yeah.
But we have many ways. So here you're already struggling with black. So
Yeah.
that's just a small reminder of move order is important in chess. It's not, you can't just play random moves. You have to really be careful. Of course, my opponent played g6. So he's playing the double fianchetto, which is not commonly known to be quite solid for black. Here I played a bit quickly. I played bishop d3. And the reason why is, normally the bishop doesn't belong here. It should belong e2. And the reason is he fianchettoed. And long story short, if you play your bishop on d3, 1 point in time, you will play bishop g7, castle, d6, knight bd7, and then eventually e5, e4 will arrive, which will have a pin, which will have a fork on e4. So normally the bishop should be on e2. Now, like I said earlier, this was the third round of the day. And I was a bit angry with myself the second round, which I lost against the International Master. So I just played bishop d3 immediately, and I wanted to try to get the e4 and get to center at least. So I played bishop d7. Here I should go e4, but I decided to play c3. Castles, castles. He took, he takes. So again, I could have tried this, but then my knight is misplaced in d2. My knight should be on c3. So I was just playing this a bit quickly, to be honest. I was just trying to get the middle game and then just try to outplay. So I took d6, rook e1, knight bd7. And at this position, I was like dawning to myself. I was just looking at the position. I remember I was at 2400 and my opponent was at 2180 or something. Or 38, sorry. Not 38. And I was looking at this position like, how do I create any chances with white? I mean, he has one weakness on e7, one point of attack, but I can easily defend it with rook e8. If I double up on the e file, it doesn't make that much sense. And if I play c4, then d4 might be weak, and my knight on d2 is also misplaced. So yeah, I thought I'm gonna play a4. Just try to play a5 and try to create something, you know? That's the issue with London most of the times. That it's not easy with white to obtain something if black choose really solid setup. My opponent plays a6. I played h3. So I was just actually waiting about what to do. I was just playing healthy moves. Rook e8. I played bishop h2. Again, it was a bit of waiting move. And now my opponent played e5. And to be honest, the moves that occurred afterwards, I think I'm gonna glance a bit, that I haven't seen the calculation, but I felt during the game that this move was wrong, e5. It's just I think it's a master intuition. And the reason why I think, as I'm seeing it now, is that most of my pieces are more, in a way, actively placed than his. It's a bit weird to say now, but after my move knight c4, if we compare all the pieces, you can see that maybe my knight is a bit better than his knight in d7. And that I'm attacking d6. So of course in this position I haven't seen, so knight c4, sorry. I played knight c4. And I haven't seen this move, this next move, which was bishop takes f3. So the thing is, I was scalping the whole time e4, and I'll take on d6. If he takes one of my pieces, I'll take on d7 or on e8, and I'll be just material up. And that will be the end of the story. If he defends the pawn on d6, then I can just continue my play. I have more central doubles. I think I'll just win the pawn on e5. That was the reason. So queen c7, I can just take. And or he's going to give up the bishop there. If bishop takes f3. Or he's just losing the pawn on e5. And it would be game over. Well, my opponent took on f3. And I was calculating the position. And then I saw his line, which was, so you have to see all this from start. So I haven't seen it before with knight c4. I've seen it now. So bishop takes f3. If you take queen, he'll play e4. He'll get the fork on d3 and on my bishop on d3 and my queen on f3. If I take the pawn with bishop, which is the most logical move, then he will play rook takes e4. He will give the exchange. Rook takes e4, and then d5. And he hits me with another fork. So, just to recap, really quick. Queen takes f3, e4, bishop takes, he plays rook takes. Rook takes d5. And this position is not, I think I'm just material down, by the way. Or I'm playing the two pieces, minor pieces against a rook, or I'm just a piece down.
Yeah.
So what's beauty of this game is, and unfortunately, of course, I haven't seen it after knight c4 bishop takes. So I'll play queen takes, and if he plays e4, I should not take the bishop, I should just give the exchange myself. And the beauty is this move is so strong and so unexpected. So my pawn plays knight takes e4, bishop takes e4, and now you can see the influence. I'm going to say the two
bishops. Yeah, the two bishops.
Or just crossing down.
Yeah.
So this game is not per se of the beauty of my moves or not opening. It's just like a concept which I saw in this, a tactical concept. Rook takes. So now I'm going to exchange down, but the d6 is hanging, and my pieces are working perfectly together. So rook a7, and now knight takes d6. One, I get the initiative, I'll continue attacking pieces with. I'm threatening queen takes f7, threatening knight takes e8. Secondly, my bishops are like literally pointing on the queen side, and they're super active. And thirdly, his knight and bishop on g7, so bishop g7 and the knight on d7, aren't doing that much because of my pawn structure, which is limiting all his pieces, all his activity of his pieces. So this position, as a matter of fact, I'm completely winning. So the game continued rook f8. I played queen d3. I'm kind of going to put some pressure on a6. So bishop h6. I played bishop b7. Now the idea is actually to provoke him to play a5, because then I have a wonderful square for my knight.
B5, yeah.
So he played knight b8 to defend the pawn back. I decided to play queen f3 to just maintain the bishop on b7 and cutting off his rook momentarily. My bishop is also not doing that much, but I can always decide when to get rid of the blockade. Played queen e7. I decided to drop back my bishop to d5. My opponent plays knight d7. And now the simple move, which it's so hard to see, is knight e4. And as a matter of fact, I'm just winning him.
d6 coming.
I have bishop e6 coming.
Yeah.
And it's so funny, but there's no convenient way to deal with bishop d6. And it just shows the power of my pieces, the coordination of my pieces.
I see why you like bishops.
Bishops.
Yeah, I'm seeing why you like bishops now.
So my opponent played king h8 just out of pity, and then bishop d6, and he resigns. Yeah. But for me, the beauty of the game is when he thought he's gonna do the exchange tag,
and you exchange instead.
And of course, it's just a master's instinct. Yeah. I thought at this position e5, knight c4, I'm better. I haven't seen, of course, bishop takes f3 and then queen takes an e4, but then at this position, rook takes e4 is the best move by far. And I'm actually winning.
Yeah, that's pretty. I like bb7. bb7 for me was the move that wasn't easy to see. So yeah, bb7, I like that move. Really, really neat move. Definitely really neat move. So after every game, what happens? Yeah, we're throwing it in. We're throwing it in. So let's see if you can go 8-1 now. You're 5-1. Let's see if you can go 8-1. And you accept any challenge. It's now up to you. Whoever comes, just tell me on your choice who to accept.
Yeah, Sin Boy.
Sin Boy. That's another fighter. Let's go.
I'll play white. Thank you, Lord.
Yeah, you asked for the black and that wasn't too nice.
Yeah. No, I got mine. Okay. You know what? You want to go for a win? Oh, I like this a lot, actually. I have great results. You were telling us about you having great results with 4 pawns?
Yeah.
I have excellent results in this position. H5.
He stops the H4 ideas and the H6 one time. But let's be radical.
Okay. Oh, he's tempting me to play E5 actually. Okay, now it's interesting. I'll do simple chess. Develop. Wow. Okay, now you're really tempting me. You are seriously tempting me. I can't resist temptation sometimes. So knight g4 might be interesting, but I have h3, I guess. Should be winning there. If he plays knight e8, then I'll just maintain the tension, because I'm just asking the bigger question: where's knight going on e8? And I can just continue with my plans on the king side. Because he played h5, I have a hook point on g4. And if you're watching this, then you should know what has played to do. But it was a misdirection. So
Yeah, that's just
I have other plans. But those are also on the cards. So that's one plan. Okay, he played knight e8. So I have two options. I could continue my plan, or I can be devious and tell a white lie. I'll tell a white lie.
You know me, I'd always go for e6, bd3 there. I wouldn't be able to help myself. Yeah. I just wouldn't be able to help myself.
That's definitely a candidate move. Definitely. Without a doubt. Okay, that's actually the best move. Okay. Should I follow Jomo's advice now and go for e6? No, I'll take on g7. I think king takes. Yeah, king takes is the best move. I'll just maintain tension. So I play bishop c4. He has knight b6, which might be annoying, which I don't like. I just want to play central now because he's lacking on development and we're opening up the position. So I just want to bring my rook on e1. But then the question arises where I have to place my bishop. I can also take on c5 and take. Should be very good for me. Yeah, I think I'm going to take on c5. So I presume knight takes e5. So if he takes c5, I will play e6. And I would say I would remove it, but then he gives me a way better version of it. I think the move to play now is knight takes c5, but even there, I should be much better. Because his pieces are clumsy, as it is. So if he takes on e5, I take knight, and then he has a, okay. I thought thinking, just taking. So if he pawn takes, then I just have a better structure. And I think that's the best he can get, actually, from this position. Queen takes, I was planning queen e3. And I think I'm gonna get a huge initiative. At least huge initiative. Okay, let's see. Not talking rubbish. Okay, queen e3. Attacking the queen, placing my queen on the better square. The bigger question is where's queen going?
Where's his own going? Yeah, that's the big question. Where does his queen go?
I have knight d5, knight queen c7. I have knight d5 anyways. Queen c6. I have bishop b5.
Yeah, he's going to use time here. There doesn't seem to be. Yeah, there don't seem to be a good square for that queen.
And okay, so I'll develop an extra tempo. I can even win the pawn, by the way.
Yeah, I thought you that. Well,
so
still a lot to go.
Yeah, something feels fish. I think pawn is good. There's nothing wrong with taking pawns. Nothing wrong with taking pawn. Be careful. Knight f6. I have rook d6. Okay. So what is he trying to accomplish? I think bringing the last piece into the fray can never be a wrong idea. Okay.
Okay.
Check. Bishop needs more purpose in life. Okay. Place my bishop on d3. I have plans maybe of bishop takes d6. Okay. Now I'm gonna do something cheeky, I guess. I think knight takes e6. Doesn't fall for it. No one does. Not in this stream. In either cases. What do I fall for this? Check. This should be over quite soon. Wow, why am I so slow?
Yeah, the time going down, boy, for everybody.
Okay, so threatening mate in one. There's no way to stop it. Checkmate. Alright. And for the game.
Yeah, you also, didn't you have rook d6? At b e6 when you played. You had rook d6, rook takes e6.
Well, sorry?
A couple moves back. Instead of, I think you did knight back. Which was the position? Let me find it. I was trying to see why you didn't play. Right, you went knight. Yeah, what was wrong with rook d6?
Oh, rook d6. Yeah, I saw it now.
Yeah, rook d6, rook e6.
Yeah, that was completely different.
Yeah, and just pick up the piece.
Yeah.
All right, so where are we at? We're at 6-1.
Okay, now I'm getting the strong ones. Master Smith. It's Shreya Smith, definitely.
Yeah.
Then I have Cam Cool. I'll take Cam Cool first.
Good call.
I'll leave the top one for the last.
Yeah, and 6-1 is the score. So let's see.
6-1, my God. Okay. So Cam Cool played b3. You know my bullet repertoire is a5 now, but
well, not bullet, but let's enjoy the game.
That's right. Let's just.
You played d5. No, I would have sat for a5. I'm going to make some more coffee. We're in for the long haul. I saw Cesar said he bought a bottle of wine for this one, and he's going to finish it by the time you finish. So I'm gonna make myself some coffee. I'll be back in 2 minutes.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so on castle. Okay. So we have like a Zucator structure. Even though his knight, he placed the knight on c3, which is quite unusual. He's gonna go for long castle? I would invite him to long castle. So now the pin, bishop b4 and knight here, I think it's almost winning. Maybe only bishop d3 is the only move. But then I'll get the bishop there at least. Ish. Bishop d3 is only move now. Not to lose. Will he find it? Is he watching the stream? Yeah, he watched the stream. What? Okay, so now I got the bishop there at least. Even though my bishop is hemmed in with my own pawns. But I guess there's a reason why many GMs prefer bishop there. Playing cam cool. Okay, so far so good. 30 seconds up. Got bishop here. Okay, knight g1 is smart. Let's try to relocate the knight to f4, a better square. I'm going to play queen g5 to provoke a decision of him. If he plays f4 to defend pawn that way, I will open up the position after he takes f3. And if he plays g3, then he will weaken all the light squares around his king-ish, because his king is going to go to the queen side anyways, but he will weaken the light squares. And if he plays king f1, then he just ruined his king. This is quite interesting. It's a hard decision for him. One he has to make now. Or he can sacrifice the pawn with knight ge2, which I think will make more sense the more I'm seeing it. So he plays f3. He took the choice of opening up the position. I have to take. And now I can just pretend as if this is according to plan and play queen e7. I think I'm going to play that. Okay. So now it's becoming a race. I can still bring my knight. Knight f6, knight e4, sorry. Or I can just start the attack with a5, a4. Both ways, they look both good for me. I'll play knight f6. General consensus say you should bring your pieces first, then afterwards do something concrete. It's just like a general thing. Just improving pieces first. And we say Joma is back with coffee.
Yeah. Can't leave out my Jamaican Blue Mountain coffee. The best in the world, so here we go. I do have it in Olympia, so I have to enjoy these once we're doing coffee and blitz.
Okay. Yeah, are you guys in Jamaica? Is it known there? The coffee?
Yeah, Blue Mountain Coffee, world renowned.
Okay.
Some of the best in the world. So I know what I'll be sending you for Christmas.
Yeah. I love it. Even though I don't drink coffee though, but
don't worry, you'll love this one. You'll love this one. I guarantee it. It's Jamaican.
Any gift I'll yeah. Any gift I'll take.
Okay.
I'll just play a5. Hook point on a4, so why not? Opposite side castling, so we should attack. I have bishop here, my opponent has the center, even though he cannot utilize it yet. Yeah, should I go for it or not? Let's say there's a user, should I go for it? Bishop takes, pawn check. No, it's not.
Steel pulse, the VX. Alright, I'll take that under consideration.
Okay, let's go for it.
Yeah, well, everybody on that minute, so let's have some fun.
Yes. So a4 is just a pawn sack, but I just want to open the file for rook, the line for rook. Easy as that. If he takes, the knight takes, then I have the e4 square for my knight, threatening also the g3. So it was late. Now I'm threatening g3, winning the exchange, and also I'm bringing more pieces into the fray. And I remember something a good friend of mine once told me, like, if you're playing attacking chess, always go forward. That's always the best
Forward ever, backward
Never go back.
never. Yep.
So now let's play this. So we're gonna go with the motto of keep going forward on our sack. Just opening up the lines. I hope I'm gonna make him proud, otherwise just use his wisdom and show away his wisdom. So now the first move I'm considering now is bishop rook takes e4 and then bishop h3. I'm gonna do it with the motto of going forward. Never go backwards. Going forward again with bishop h3. I think he's in serious trouble. I don't even see a way. Maybe king b1.
Don't give any hints now. Oh, timed out. Oh. Yeah,
king b1, I have bishop takes b2 and then knight c3 mate. Actually,
so you're helping yourself out. Alright. Yeah. So that's 7-1. Last one in this set. Let's see who is coming.
Oh man. Alright, I cannot. That's the chess line. This must be Shane. This is Shane Matthews, I think.
Which one? Who is that?
The chess line 64.
No, Chess Dread. Oh, Chess Dread is Shane.
That was chess line 64.
Alright, well, maybe he has something else, but no, my Ultra Dread is Shane. Ultra Dread.
Oh, Sap Sean is the rescue.
Alright, so Sap Sean. Let's go. That's Malik Korea. Alright, so this is a big game. So Malik took out Zambrana in Olympiad a couple days ago. Why does this look like Jasel still there?
I just lost connection, crap.
Alright, you're back.
No,
you're back. Yeah.
I'm back, yeah.
So I was telling you that Malik beat Zambrana in Olympiad 2 weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that's a skill. Okay,
yeah.
I'll stick with French.
Yeah, very proud of him.
Yeah, definitely. No, but Trias.
Yeah, this one is Malik. I don't know if you know Malik. Malik Korea. About 2
I know Malik.
Yeah. So you're playing Malik
now.
now.
Man, no. Yeah, it's getting tough now. Okay, no problem. We signed up for this.
Yeah.
8-4, okay. Oh, castle. So far, so good. Still theory. Ish.
I made a living off the early knight c6, Jasel. I still swear by it, the Krupa. Very few people play it.
So now he's trying the simple bishop takes h7, which I almost miss as usual. And I always miss it in bullet games. Okay, so so knight g6, he has h4, h5, which is very annoying. I'm not really a fan of f5 in this position. However, if the position requires it, I have to play it then. This is not going my way, this one.
Alright,
I'll be struggling.
Early days, you're going to have to dig in. You're a French player. You know these days come.
Should I go for YOLO? Yes, do it. You know, as French, sometimes you just have to bite the bullet and play ugly moves.
Yeah, that's how I know you're a French player.
Just bite the bullet and play ugly moves. It has a lot of sense though. He takes a 6. I take away squares of his for his knight. But then again, I just ruin my whole king side structure. I have more influence in the center, but I still damage my whole king side structure. So, but I'm gonna.
You'll survive.
I think I'm gonna.
Imbalances. You'll survive.
Yeah, you can't get everything in life, right? So, I mean.
And the reason I played the French. The reason I played the French was for the imbalances. That was the whole thing. As a Sicilian player all my life, and that took up the French to get the imbalances.
So he played a5. It's a tough decision for him. Where's his bishops going? Bishop on c1. Should he go on a3 or on h6? So I like a5 a lot, maintaining his option. I was actually considering here to play c4 and block at least one bishop away. Because I can deal with one bishop, one strong bishop, not with two.
Mm-hmm.
So here I'm praying. Wait, isn't this just a piece? Okay. Oh, nice. Okay. Take it back. I leave it for the viewers. Why is c takes d3 wrong? That's quite a nice idea. Okay, that's it. Nothing wrong with my position. I don't think he has bishop takes h7, so he's bluffing. You're gonna have one very good bishop on a3, but I have a fast one. So this or that, you can get everything in life. You have to give. I think he's really considering it. Or maybe knight g5? Nah, it can't work. Okay, so play first queen, bishop e3. I'll develop my piece. Knight bc6. There's nothing wrong. So I'll play bishop d7, connecting my rooks. So far, so good. I should try push for e5. That must be my move. So I'm gonna draw back my queen on c7, preparing e5. And hope for the best. My king is mighty exposed, but then again, if I
He's giving you too much time advantage now, though.
Yeah, I think maybe he has internet issues, I guess.
I'm not sure.
I don't believe it. So now e5 is definitely the move that I want to play, but opening up your king has always risk to it. Now I'll play small then. Maybe I'll double up on the g file and then go with knight g6, knight f4, pressing the g pawn. Now he's going for f4, which is smart. Now I have to play it no matter what. Yeah, I have to go for it. He misplaced his knight now, so okay. That's internet issues, I guess. Just lost internet.
Yeah, you're still here.
Again, crap.
No, you're still here, so just play.
No.
Yeah, you're still there.
Yeah,
so
I'm still here. I'm still here, lucky. Okay, so what's going on now? Okay. Okay, F8. Oh, I have 19 seconds. Not what the doctor ordered. Again. I'll take pawn spawn. Nothing wrong with grabbing pawn. It's pawn. Create a fast pawn. So do a rook lift, I guess. Okay, I'm gonna defend and attack another pawn. Yeah, he lost.
Alright, and that carries you to 8-1. And time to look on, not going bad at all, not going badly at all. Time to look at another game.
Yeah, good game, Malik. Unfortunately, on the time.
Yeah.
I guess it was something else.
So you achieved the IM title. So all of us
Yeah.
are all excited. When does Jasel fix a structure to go for the GM title? Have you thought about it? And is it something that we can be cheering for you in the near future? Your journey to
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah. No, yeah. So, so last year after I reached IM,
Mm-hmm.
I of course it was like maybe my proudest moment in my whole life, I guess, because I worked so
So
hard
hard
for it,
for it.
and I reached something that many told me that I couldn't, Aruba, which I still managed to reach it. I still managed to reach the way it should be in a way, reaching the three norms,
Mm-hmm.
the whole stash in a way, which took me so well. So afterwards, I was starting to become more ambitious, aspiring for more, still trying to reach GM.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Grandmasters is extremely difficult. Um, it's not an easy task, by far not. It will take so much time, and you really need to dedicate chess as a professional. You have to take it quite seriously. You cannot play random openings anymore. I should start. I was even adjusting my opening repertoire, like French. You can still play a French player to become GM, but it's so much harder. And with Black, it's sometimes much better just play simple, solid lines.
Mm-hmm.
Just get the quality, and from there try to outplay. So I was actually switching with Karakan, etc. But for me, after IM, I decided to send an email to the Aruba Federation and ask them if they could help me with with my journey. If they want to help me become GM.
Mm-hmm.
And the way I asked them to help me is to actually, if I could play two tournaments, or one tournament actually, specific as Olympiad, if they could grant me the wish of qualifying automatically instead of qualifying with the system, which demands so much of me. And at the end of the day, the federation decided that it's not of the benefit of the whole chess community to help me out in a way to let me qualify for the Olympiad automatically. And that's like kind of a bummer for me, and it kind of dismotivated me. And at the moment, I will not be pursuing for GM. The only way I could have reached GM, I think, is stay in Europe in general, in Holland. And from here, just working hard. And I think I had all the tools, I had all the friends. Just financially and the opportunities were quite expensive.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, on Olympiad, if you score a norm there, it counts twice. In a way.
Mm-hmm.
And also the fact that in Olympiad, you don't have to worry about the federation play against, which would have helped me as well significantly. Something I was worried about in Holland. It's not easy to get tournaments with the conditions to get the norm.
With the multiple federations in there. Yeah.
Yeah, correct. So no, at the moment I decided that for me IM is enough.
Mm-hmm.
It's been quite a rocky road. I'm really proud of reaching IM. Sincerely, I am. Till this day, that's the biggest accomplishment I did in my life. But I think I will leave GM for another user of Aruba. And
I hear you,
and
I'm extremely proud of you, but I'm going to annoy you into trying for this GM and trying to see where the opportunities are, to see if there are opportunities even in the US, to see if you can get conditions in specific tournaments. The US is way harder than Europe, way harder. But there are some tournaments that you get good conditions in that you probably can look to pursue it. So we'll look and we'll talk, because right now you're probably the most equipped experience-wise of the Caribbean players to actually go for it. Your experience-wise, you're equipped, and the years in Netherlands, 6 years, you just can't stop battling. It's difficult when you stop and start back. It's so much easier when you have that momentum going. So much easier. So I hear you, but as most of the people watching, you haven't lost a viewer yet since you have started, which tells you that everybody's cheering for you to get that. So we'll talk. We'll talk, and we'll all be looking for the opportunities for you. You chose this third game, and this is against, I think this is FAM. Talk to us about this game.
Yes. All right. This game was actually a way to
Alright, and again, guys, we know the situation in Aruba, so we just have to be a little patient as we wait for him to come back on. You're back.
Joma, can you still hear me?
Yeah, man, you're back. You're
Yes,
back.
I'm back?
Yeah, man, you're back.
So, I'm actually playing against my students at this point. I used to give him once a month class with 3 other students of the chess club, 3 other users. And this game goes with the same motto of London. But this has another touch to it.
Yeah, let's see.
Because most people think of London as a boring opening, which in fact it could be quite exciting.
Yeah.
Of course, it or solid advantage. Or he could challenge you with G6.
Yeah, well, your G6 line seems to be extremely interesting.
Yes.
It seems to be very, very interesting, your G6 line.
That is really poor. Am I still on the...
Yeah, you're still on, and we have enough patience. We have enough patience, don't worry.
So bishop G7, I played E4, he played D6. Now so D6, Queen D2, A6. So in a way, he's kind of using the modern setup, even though he already committed with knight F6. Normally, modern, he played first knight D7, then D5. So it's kind of mixing up the plans. But in general, in fact, when someone played Queen D2 and Bishop F4, or Bishop G5, or Bishop A6, or Bishop A3, most of the times you know that white is gonna castle long. So it makes sense to start expanding on the queen side. So it has logic to it. I played long castle, B5, F3. He played Bishop B7, which in my eyes seems a bit dubious. But then again, this is actually a modern setup and it should be normal-ish. Even though it doesn't make sense in my eyes to place a bishop on pawns which are in this formation. They're saying like the bishop is biting on the granite. It's not really that effective. So I played Bishop H6, exchanging Darcy's bishop, and afterwards I can launch an attack a la Fischer with H4, H5. He castled, H4 is played. So far everything is logical, just developing my moves and then playing on the side where I should play. We have opposite side castling, so that mostly means you have to attack. So it's a race. Who delivers mate first. So knight B7, I played H5. Notice that if he takes, I have rook A5, which just nets me the game immediately. So of course my opponent played E5. I decided to close the center with D5. Again, posing the question of his bishop is developed, yeah, but it's not doing much on the.
So the bishop is actually hitting into that wall. And we'll wait for Jasel to come. Yeah, man, we're hearing you, Jasel. So it will come back in.
Okay. No, I'm just seeing like my it's like.
Yeah, the picture is frozen, but we're actually hearing you now.
The analyze board.
Yeah, you're fully back.
Okay, nice. No, I remember a funny thing about my trainer. So this Job de la Mare is a Dutch international master, quite popular in Holland. And he used to tell me that if you get this formation, the V formation of in the King's Indian or these type of structures, he usually say it's like V for victory. So most of the cases you're gonna win because the structure is in such a dominant way that you can launch a successful attack. Of course, you have to take it with a grain of salt, but in a way, it's kind of motivating you that you know that you're doing something right.
So here comes G4. Yeah, exactly. Let's form the V properly, and Darren will be smiling in the group. The host, the same-ish player, will be smiling and going, "Yes, I've told you this for the longest while."
Yes. So he played knight b6. I just played king b1 very safely. I could have played something else. Knight h3 makes more sense now. I'm seeing the game. But okay, I played king b1. Now he played rook fd8, which I thought during the game was quite interesting because if he continues with b5 and a5, it's not as if it's gonna mate me. Meanwhile, my attack is like literally going to crush him in a way in a few moves. And with rook fd8, I thought during the game that he might go for c6, and then afterwards maybe for d5. And remember that my pieces, so my bishop on f1 and my knight on g1, is not really participating in the center.
Yeah.
So he could. There's normally the
That you should hit in the center.
G7. Took on G7. I took on H6, G6, F takes G6, and now knight H3. And now everything comes down or boils down. Rather, he can play C6 and achieve what he's trying to achieve. Just open the center. And what I think would have happened is if you play C6 now, which I expected, then continue with knight G5. And now everything comes down to who comes first with his plans. And if I'm not mistaken, mine will always comes first. I'm already threatening knight e6. So, and in some ways, I can even take on h7 and go all out caveman style. If I have queen h6 follows, and then I'll just continue from there.
Yeah.
I might be a piece down, but I know for a fact that I'm going to have a lot of fun.
Yeah, so, you will.
So here, so everything was depending on c6. And the fact when he didn't play c6, I already knew I got him. Because he's going backwards, not going forwards. And from here again, when your attack is very important to go forwards. And that's why the most difficult moves to find in attacking chess
is the backward one.
Also going backward.
Yeah.
Definitely. You always go. So here I played knight g5, knight f8. I played bishop d3. Just connecting my rooks. And also, if he always go for c6, I would allow him to take on d5. I would sack the pawn to open up another bishop, another attacking piece of mine. So, he played knight bd7, knight e2. I have to bring my to the back. c6. And here I introduced the concept of knight g3, something I'm sure my opponent missed. I could sack the pawn, just nonchalantly. So I took, bishop takes. And now here, I'm not sure if they can see the board, but I would like to pause here and ask the viewers, how would you continue from here?
Alright, so 30 seconds again, let's go. How would you continue from this position?
And by the way, just like you guys can just imagine, the position just exploded. So London is not that boring. But
against G6, it seems like against G6. So one person is saying knight h5. I didn't expect that. Knight h7 is what I expected to come quickly. So we have a lot of knight moves on the board. We have knight h7, knight h5, and knight f5.
Alright. I think technically h5 is risky, to be honest. I played
h7. Yeah. I thought for the follow-up, so knight h7 seems to be it.
Yeah, means I'm literally destroying the only of black's king. And g6 will also fall. And remember something important about my knight route from knight c3 to e2 to g3 will also come on f5.
Yeah, but no, bishop g6. After bishop g6, he can't survive.
Yeah.
That was the move you should have given them to guess.
Yeah, I should have. But
yeah, the bishop g6 is really cute in the combination because now the f5 square becomes available and you mask in the knight f5. So it's really pretty. It's really pretty.
So here I took. I could have played king d1, but I decided just to stay because I had something else in mind. So queen e6, queen b1, queen takes, and now I played rook h6, which is another blow.
Yeah. So Nash, you're right when you say all the pieces are in this attack. Beautiful display. All pieces in the attack.
I played queen f7, and now, of course, I'm going for the full glory.
Yeah. Rook across.
Rook h1 check. King g8.
Knight f5 now. And now knight f5, yeah. And all those pieces
and now
in
for
the attack. Queen g5, rook h8 coming. Everything coming.
Just witness that the rooks, the black rooks, aren't defending. And the knight also is not sufficient. I'm threatening knight h6 check. So my opponent plays queen e8.
Yeah, well, that's mate.
And I just finished off with
yeah, that's mate.
H8
yeah. Alright, beautiful display.
But this for me, yeah, this game is like the closest I reached with immortality.
yeah, this was really, this is really pretty.
But it's just a positional concept, you know. You have offside castling, you have to attack, find hook points, exchanging pieces which are defending, and just bring all your pieces into the fray. Even if you're sacrificing pawns, make sure that your pieces are activating while it's.
Yeah, I really like
So what I like the most actually that I gave him the d5 pawn. D5 and e4 was just disturbing me, my pieces. It's like after I got rid of them, I unleashed my full potential of all my pieces, of my bishop then.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this game. But again, you know, once the game's finished, you're in for 3 more. You're doing really well though. I think maybe only Damon has done this well going forward. So ready again, let's switch over.
I'll take on Chess Lion.
I think that might be Chess Lion might be Shiraz. I think that might be Shiraz now.
Okay. I think one of them is either that.
Yeah, I think this is Shiraz. Chess Lion is Shiraz. Ultra Dread is Sheen.
Right.
So Chess Lion is Shiraz.
No problem.
So we're in the big league. Malik to Shiraz.
No, I'll just play. Okay. I'm not complaining that much because I'm gonna get the bishop there quite quickly. So far so good. No, I don't understand. Okay. Normally they play castles or b6. Okay, castles. You know, I'm gonna play queen c2 because I want to achieve e4. And I see a lot of masters playing d5 in this position. I never quite understand these structures. We're gonna transpose into some sort of a queen's gambit decline structure. Then you have to e5 it.
Now where a5 looks a little funny.
Yeah.
But if it goes to the exchange structure, a5 might stop the minority attack. So it may be useful depending on how white responds.
Yeah. For me, it's a bit deep. I'm not yet in that GM level. It's a5. But I think in general, these structures with black is always very solid.
Yeah.
So I was going for this idea, which, to be honest, I don't really like that much for him. So I think e4, he's planning for c5. Even though, should I fear that? Should I fear it, Shreyas? Nah, I'll stick with my code. Bishop pair for the win. I believe in the bishop pair. Bishop for bear that knight. Let's start that conversation. Let's start that conversation. Let's go with that dilemma. Bishops or knights? What do you think, Jomo? What do you believe in?
Bishops. I'll play with knights, yes. But bishops. Definitely.
Nah, I sincerely believe that bishops are way better than knights.
Yeah, I think it's a skill though. Playing with the knights takes a certain skill, and if you have that skill, you can win a lot of games if you know how to use your knights. Yeah. But I prefer bishops.
I remember one thing I really about Maurice Ashley, what he said once at a commentary at the United States Championship or St. Phil Cup. He said that the exchange of bishop and knight, that exchange
is the most important.
Is the grandmaster is the important exchange. That determines everything.
Yep. And I
I completely agree with that.
So Jasel, I can tell you when I was training with him, we spent a lot of time on those exchanges. So one of the things was to understand the exchange, because most mistakes happen at the exchange.
Wow. So he's going full. Okay. Should I call his bluff? Because this is a bluff. I know he's good with calculation. It's extremely well with calculation. I'm even surprised sometimes. Okay. This is the moment I have to pray for God.
Right, both of you are playing to style now, so I'm going to enjoy the rest of this game. Because both of you are playing to style.
Yeah, I'm going for it. I think he thought that knight takes e4, queen takes f6, but I have bishop d3. Or he's going for full counter play with knight b7. But again, this is a gamble. Should I go full greed? No. Can't work. Okay. Alright, start calculating now. It takes. Oh man, okay. Okay. So he believed me. Thank God for that.
Yeah, I would have taken 94. I would have taken 94.
Not sure that was correct.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that he believed me there. I didn't even believe that my Oh, Shreyas.
We all did Marcos.
I'll take. There's nothing wrong with playing simple chess. Now, Shreyas I've played with him a few times, a few training sessions. He's an extremely gifted player, actually. Him and Damien. I used to train with Damien. Like training games. I remember for the Olympiad, which he scored really well. Oh man, he was at his prime. He was extremely tough.
Yep.
Extremely tough. Like, okay, now I think he missed.
Yeah, he missed.
No, he has queen c5 check. Oh.
Yeah, but
Okay,
still
nice.
missed.
Nice save.
It doesn't save it though.
Alright. I thought f5. So queen c5 check.
Yeah, and king h1.
Then f5. Sorry?
Yeah, but still it still goes. So queen f6 still should go.
I mean, rook e7, then bishop takes f5.
Yeah, and then you penetrate on d7.
Yeah.
Alright, but 9-1. Who is next?
I don't think you should have believed me.
No, he had to take knight e4. I think he had to play knight e4 in that position. Was critical.
Yeah, definitely. It should be the move. Okay. So I have right now Jamaican swordsman.
Jamaica who?
Jamaican swordsman. I already played him once, I think.
Alright, so who else is there?
Now Nathan Rabbit.
Alright, so yeah. Young player, he should have played earlier. Before you woke up.
Okay, then
so no, played Nathan Rabbit. But it would have been more fun before you woke up. Now they have woken you up.
Yeah, no, the loss woke me up.
Yeah.
Like, okay. I should have played Benoni, but okay. That was a good game though.
Yeah.
I will not hate. 6. This is one of those lines that I always said I'm gonna study, which I never study. Now, knight f3. I don't want any endgames. Not today. Okay, I'll play c4. Alright, so we're gonna get the old Indian. Okay, normal development, I have more space. That's the only reason why this is not that popular. That white has always a bit more space, but it's actually, in my eyes, a bit rubbish. I think at GM level, it says a lot. Take d5, giving him the c5 square, but I'm getting, and I'm also defining the structure already. I already have a plan in mind.
Yeah, and he's already going to get push-ups when I talk to him. Structure was defined early, so you should have benefited from it.
I agree. You know what? I'm gonna play bishop d3 or bishop g5. I'm gonna gamble. Yes, I gambled well. You should have punished me with knight g4. You should have punished me there, but I thought, what the hell? You have to take risk. Okay, so I'm gonna go for. I'm gonna allow him, not play f3. I'll allow this knight. So he's getting some activity on the king side. I'm just gonna slowly push him back. And I have to continue on the queen side where I'm strongest at. Again, it's defined by my pawn structure. My pawns are pointing the direct queen side. The d5 pawn, for instance. That's on the queen side. So I just have to hold on the king side. Hold off as an attack. And then just win on the queen side.
Okay, it took him a while, but he's going to ask you about that king side.
Yes.
Yeah, which is why I hated rook d8.
Yeah, it was incorrect. Definitely not correct. You should have continued immediately. Agree.
Yeah.
Totally. Okay, well, at least he's playing where he should be playing. Even though that one tempo
it's a lot. And it would be more than one because you have to bring it back at some point to continue that attack.
No, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. If you see it that sense, then you lost. Oh. Oh. You know? How would he react? You know?
I'm curious.
Yes, he's bluffing.
Yeah.
But again,
yeah.
Nothing wrong.
Curious to see.
Bluff. I don't believe this bluff. I don't believe this.
I can't see it either. I'm trying. I'm really trying, but I can't see it.
But in general, yeah. No, you should have went for f5 in general. You should have just get an f4 and just bring back his pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Then prepare f5.
Yeah.
Because even if I didn't have I already have the e4 square for one of my knights. Yeah, I can easily kick off his knight on f4. So conceptually speaking, you should be really careful with f5 when to play it. But that's the difficulty of things in it. Sometimes you have to play it, sometimes you don't. And most of the times it's really uncertain whether you should play risky or not. Okay, so four. I like. No, I can't play it. Or I could. Bishop f1 could be really smart. Well, since he's getting a bit of activity, I have to give him that. Yeah, to take the bishop or the knight. I'll take bishop. I believe in bishops. Okay, so he's going for maximum activity. I don't have to fall for bishop f2. Just move my rook. There's gonna come with queen e7, queen g5, which I have already something in mind for that. Knight g4. Bringing my pieces further into the fray, stopping them in g5. And I should start being boring and start exchanging pieces because it's getting a bit scary on my king. So, okay, I'll just sidestep. So he's bringing one more piece. I'll throw a spinner to the groundwork, f6. Not sure if that was smart actually, but okay, now I'll bring my rook. Getting up the exchange, I think it's more practical to play it like this. Now I took a lot of steam in this initiative, and the ensuing middle game is quite good for me. It seemed to me like this should be the way to play it. So again, good positions doesn't make good moves to us. So I have to start playing good moves. Off with the bishop, knight, bring more pieces. So I'll take, exchange. Okay, I think d6 is falling. Okay, defend my knight. Placing a small. Okay, he saw it, as usual. Check. Okay, bring my rook. Oh, I missed rook takes d6. Oh, thank you, Lord. Okay, I have to bring that one bishop. So I saw a weakness. You know what? I'll get a check. That's a very annoying check. After now, I'm threatening bishop d5 with mate to follow. He missed it. Checkmate. Thanks for the game.
Alright, well, good fight back after that piece sack. Good fight back.
It was interesting. It was interesting.
They're saying mate in one was missed. I wonder where that was.
It was.
Yeah.
I was so happy that he took my exchange. He should have taken it, but then again, that was material up.
Yeah, time was going.
No, I have 2 chances.
Time was going.
Yeah, I was lucky.
Alright, so that's 10-1, one more in. After Queen F4, Queen G7.
Okay, now
okay, seeing it now. So who do you have there?
Yeah. I have One Day I Will Be Strong.
I don't know who that is.
And I have Learning Process 1.
Learning Process.
Yes?
Yeah, Learning Process. He's a club member.
Oh. Yeah, I have the black pieces. Okay. If he plays B3, okay. If he plays B3, I played A5.
We wanted that the first game. Oh, the Dutch. Okay, let's see which line of the Dutch is coming. We won't get to see which line of the Dutch is coming. Yes. No, Bruce, play to your strength.
Oh, I didn't want this. Not the line I was looking forward to. This is not a line I was looking forward to. Okay. This is going to be extremely hard. The Dutch. Why did I choose the Dutch? Okay. I remember something like this, knight c6, then d5. Well, I thought to myself, I'm going to play entertaining. Play Dutch. Just to play it.
Well.
Got the Staunton.
Yeah, so we are going to be entertained. We don't know if you will be entertained, but spectators, we will be entertained.
Yeah. Don't worry. I have confidence. So to be frank, I'm not that booked up against the Staunton. Bishop c4. So I don't have to fall for the trick of knight a5, queen h5 check. So I already got that out of my way.
Planet Chess Club, thanks for the read. Definitely enjoying. We have international master Jasel Lopez playing Blitz and going through his games. So Jasel is the first Caribbean player to have gotten the international master via the norm method, and he did it when he went to Netherlands. He is from Aruba. So currently he is 10-1 up and enjoying. We have this program where we're trying to go undefeated in 15 games, but 10-1 looking for 11-1.
Okay.
Standbox, thanks for the follow. And the next 3 games will come from any other players who raided. So I'll type his username, Arwak, and then. Alright, and then after this game, your members from Planet Chess Club can get a thing there. Get to play International Master Jasel Lopez 3+2. Thanks, really happy streaming again. We had some little breaks during the Olympiad, the FIDE Online Olympiad, but where we had to be supporting Jamaica. So we're back fully and fully effect this week.
Alright. So I'm having difficulties castling. I'll take Let's see what he's up to. Knight takes c3, I think, is a blunder.
Knight, thanks for the blunder. For the thing there. I heard you say blunder. Thanks for the follow. So I'm like in the middle of thanking following and saying blunder.
Yeah.
But I see why you said it.
I'm thankful that blunder. He fell for it. Or I think he fell for it. I'm not sure if I missed something, but. I think this nets me upon.
Yeah, nets your material, right? Yeah, minimum.
Yeah. Okay.
So Jasel, you're currently 24-16, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so currently 24-16.
Yeah, it was tough afterwards when I was playing in the Dutch league. Because I was playing on higher boards. So I was playing against 2600. And the last year it wasn't my form. In Belgium, I had a horrible season. I lost every game. I think I lost 5 games. I was playing purely against 2600s. And there's a big difference.
Yeah.
Level. They're really professionals. They're not messing around with. Oh wait, he's. So if I take the rook on a1, he might play knight d5. Wow, that's creative. That's very creative for my opponent. But I think I can move order trick with b6 first, attacking the queen, and then after take the rook on a1. Or I can chicken out with queen b4 if it goes queen a. No. Okay, but now I thought
c6. Yeah.
Oh, he has to exchange the queens as well, so maybe it wasn't that smart of him.
Maybe it was. Maybe it was. Nicely done, Bruce. Nicely done.
It's nice. We'll give him that. He's still in the first position, but the fact that he saved the rook exchange.
Yeah, nicely done.
In a very creative way, he saves the exchange. That should be credit.
Yeah.
Should get credit for that. I haven't expected that. Oh, queen f7. I haven't even thought about it. So yeah, I'm 2 pawns up. I have actually all my pawns. Yeah. All intact. So let's build our wall. So yeah, soon c5 is gonna come. But at first I have to defend d5. And now afterwards I'm gonna play for c5. And get these pawns rolling. I'll play for c. Even though I missed knight e. Oh, but I trapped the knight. Nice.
Okay, nice.
I saw it up
Yeah,
first.
not a nice move. Not a nice move to get at that time. Alright, so
yeah.
Planet Chess Club, send the challenges. It's to Arawak. So I am Arawak.
Yes.
And let's get a couple games in for you guys. So 11-1, you're going after that record. Nobody has gone 14-1. So let's see. Who do you have challenging you?
Okay. Only Jamaican swordsman.
I know.
I already played again.
Yeah, so let's.
So I'm still only Jamaican swordsman. By the way, my username is actually the Indians, the native Indians of Aruba, like that. Even though now they're extinct, unfortunately.
Yeah, they were they're also in Jamaica, and they were told, like in school, I studied about the Arawak straight through school, and then like when my son started school, suddenly I heard the name was Tainos and not Arawak. But I spent all my days studying Arawak.
Lies.
So that was funny.
But it's the same thing now with Pluto, right?
Yeah.
I know it as a planet. Like it's a dwarf planet.
And you won
all
then.
those years of a lie.
Alright, Chelsea. So any other challenges?
I have one day I will be strong again.
Alright, so we don't know who that is. So I guess playing because
yes. So okay, I have the pieces. Unrated. One day I will be. He played knight f3, so he's a strong player.
It's chances are somebody trying to get a second game against you with a new account we don't know.
Okay, let's play that. Let's see if someone at least plays balls. So d6. Oh! So he's giving me the option of playing e5 in one go. Normally I should do it. Normally. Now I'll stick with what I know of. Leningrad.
D3. So English player. Okay.
Yes, this is transferred back to English. Okay.
Yeah, so
no problem.
I'm trying to figure out who is playing just by watching, but what do you want?
I'll play e5 first. Yeah. You have two choices there. You can go b4 or you can play a5 first and then force on a3, b4. I normally prefer this because then I activate my rook on a8 for free. But I saw also other grandmasters, they allow b4 and b5. I haven't really studied it that deep, in depth, but I think they both have their pros and cons.
Sure.
Because now he's going to play on the queen side, I'm going to play on the king side, slowly.
I've played both variations with a5 and leaving it and allowing him to expand. I actually prefer allowing him to expand and keeping the a pawns on the board.
Okay. So I have to continue with g5 normally. Yeah, why not? I'm gonna go all caveman style, I guess. So should I be afraid of the check on b3? That is. Oh, he's gonna play b6 afterwards. So if I play bishop e6, he plays b6. That's smart. Destroys my whole structure. Should I try e5 now? d5, no, e4, sorry. G5 is also a very interesting option. G4, sorry. Yeah, I'll try G4. Nice concept. It's either I'm gonna regret G4 or if I'm gonna really enjoy G. Yeah, I'm regretting it already, I guess. Okay. King H7. No, I can play E5 then. Okay, then it's fine. As long as I can play D5 now, I'm not that worried. But D5 for me is everything. Otherwise, it was just insanely. I just lost all tension and everything. So yeah, if you say something, you have to continue. So his knight is kind of misplaced, but my center looks like it's gonna crumble, but I don't see it yet. 6, okay. Yeah, I'll get more space. Nothing wrong with getting more space. Okay, that's a pawn. So I can get a pawn. I don't see nothing wrong with the pawn. What's the best dance of scene again? I saw nothing wrong with the pawn. And my opponent's playing fast.
Very fast and tactical.
That's talking more. Okay. Wow, he got me good here. Shouldn't have allowed this. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. I'm just crying slowly from the inside. I'm crying. Okay. I'm sure he hasn't seen that move. So far. Okay, let's simply. Oh man, that's a very nice move, HB4. Okay, I'll move my rook. Rook first. Okay, go on. So as you guys may wonder, everything is going south. I'm just trying to salvage this game. And hoping he missed something with maybe bishop d6. The only thing that's going for me is that he has a knight that's not doing much on h4. But everything else is going horrible. Now even knight takes d7 still works. Oh, knight d7 that position. So I don't have move by okay, knight c6. Try to play as more active as possible. And pretend the bishop there saves everything. I didn't expect that, but he won the pawn. Big. So at the moment, I'm just struggling for life, dear life. Check. Okay. Still doing great. I'm still doing poorly. I think he gave me chances now. Okay. Try to hold. Completely losing endgame. Okay. I do have a checkmate in one, so we're after that. Still struggling. Check. Not even that he allows me. Okay, now. So raise to the death, which I'm not even close. Yeah, he got me. Oh, the game.
Yeah. I don't know who it is though. Yeah, but one that hasn't showed his identity. So I have no idea who that player is. Alright, so you played. Repeat that?
Yeah. No, he's right. His username. One day he will be strong. I played someone really great.
They're saying I jinxed. They're saying that I jinxed it. That I called. They're saying that I jinxed you. That I called the win for you too soon. So they're blaming me for the loss. I'll take it. Alright, so the last game that you brought for us was against GM Beijing. So tell us about this game.
That's the most beautiful play. Most instructive of them all.
So we save the best for last.
This is so that was in the Belgian league, and in the Belgian league they play normally on one day, one slot of the month, or sometimes 2 or even 3 times in a month on a Sunday. They play the league game, so the Belgian league, and this weekend. So the Saturday I play the Dutch league, and then the day after we traveled by car to where I played this fellow. So Saturday I won against a GM, and the next day I won against another GM.
That's a good weekend.
So for me it's like, it was a good weekend for me. That was 23.50, so it got me like 30 points extra, I guess. So I had the black piece. I was playing against Michael Fagan, which is those GMs which plays mostly the league tournaments, the league competitions. So I started with E4, D4, D5, knight C3, bishop D4, E5. So standard stuff, right? So I played bishop D2. I played knight E7. In my eyes, this seems most logical. Knight D5, bishop takes, queen takes, castles. So far, I played nothing weird, just normal moves.
So Jasel, I had a number of battles in this opening. And I remember, I think 5 games actually in this. 6 games in this. So they targeted my French with this line, Central America.
I know Warren Elliott, I think, played this line a few times.
Yeah, and Shane has played it also. Shane has played it a bit. And the first couple games I played 97 and played theory and got okay position, but at times passing. And then for the last couple, I did a lot of work on knight 8-6. So instead of knight e7, knight 8-6 in that position. And it got far more dynamic positions.
Yeah, nowadays I think knight h6 is the main line, the new main line.
Yeah, when I started was in 2009-10 I did the work in it. Before it was topical. I think after Moinsinko recommended and so on. But I did a lot of work in 2009-10 on that knight 8-6 line. And it really was dynamic.
Yeah, knight h6 definitely brings flavor. But I thought just playing normal in my eyes. I never studied knight h6, even though I should study it. So knight b6. He played f4. Which is quite ambitious in a way because he's really bolstering his center, but he's lacking in development. I took back, and I played knight f5. He plays knight f3. I played a6, just posing the question of the knight, what's his intentions. And the idea of knight f5 is actually to stop knight e6. So that's why I played knight f first and then a6. I didn't want to allow knight e6. So knight fc3, and now I played f6. And this is very important, this position, exactly this position, because from here now, the only way that he could improve his game is at this current position. And the only move which I thought he should have played, or which I was the most afraid of, was at this position g4. And the reason why, and I was thinking here some really crazy stuff, like sacking a knight, and just go all in. So I think what I was calculating here was take, and take. And just go all in. I sack a piece. I have, let's see how many pawns. 2 pawns for the piece, maybe 3. But just going for this crazy mess. And it's all about his king is in the center. But even though I this position. And I remember afterwards, so after the game, when I was back at home, after the long drive, I immediately checked this out with engine. And I remember with I think it was Stockfish, which recommended this position like 0-0-0, this crazy line.
Okay.
Which is just crazy how you just stack a piece like this. But the purpose is his king is still in the center. But the moves are so illogical for both sides. But I was considering these types of, and yeah, it's just a Sunday game, so why not go for it? But fortunate for me, my opponent here played castling, block castle. And in this position right here, when he played long castle, so you have to study this position really well, because firstly we have opposite side castling, which means, so we have opposite side castling, and the center is closed, which mostly means you have to attack on the flanks. Which flank you have to attack is on the flank on the king side of your opponent. So in my case, I have to attack on the queen side, he has to attack on the king side. So in this position right here, I didn't want him to allow g4 again, because now my sack won't work. And if I allow him g4 and then knight h6, my knight will look a bit silly. So I took. He took back with the f pawn. He could have taken with the e pawn, but I thought in this position after d4, sorry, I should be quite confident.
Give us square to get us square.
Yes, and also it's getting quite exposed, and the position is opened up really quickly.
Yeah.
But this position already is quite critical for my opponent.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem like it, but I'm just asking the first question, where is this knight going? And everything else I will follow with tempo. So knight e4, which is the most logical move in my eyes, I can always answer with
quick d5. Yeah.
I'm already winning a pawn. Already winning a pawn, just simple moves. If you play knight e2 and going for the pawn, I can play queen d5 again, attacking a simple pawn, and after you play king b1, I can just defend the pawn again, I guess. So it just shows you a bit about, and now he's lacking development again because he just moved knight e2, and the bishop is not developed, the rook is not developed. Meanwhile, my play is mostly on d5, etc. It doesn't seem logical, but in this position, I think he's already a bit dodgy. This position is quite dangerous for him. So my opponent decided to take with f pawn. And now this position is very interesting. And I remember behind the board, I thought, okay, I'm not complaining. I have a good French, right? I still have a bad bishop. And I thought personally, I thought I stood a bit better. So I thought I just had a slight advantage. Which, in a matter of fact, here I already have a decisive advantage. And the primary reason is, so I told you that the center is closed, and we have opposite side castling, which usually means you have to attack on the flank. In my case, I can easily attack the flank on the queen side, and the fact that he has his king on c1, which he always has to waste the time to move it to b1, will add extra fuel to the fire with my attack, so it will go much quicker. And in his case, firstly, if we compare the pieces, my pieces are made way down, putting pressure on d4. I have a rook on the open f file. My other rook will come to the c file. So you can see clearly I'm a bit better. My bishop is worse, but it's just a small detail. You can have everything you like. But the most important part is that he cannot easily attack me. For instance, if he plays g4, I can always play knight h4. And I'll have this blockade on the dark squares. Meanwhile, in my case, I can continue pushing my ideas. 65, I play bishop d5, d7. My opponent here plays h4, which is in a way quite smart, because now after g, doesn't have to worry about knight h4, the blockade on the dark squares. However, a downfall of h4 is that now g3 is weakened. So here I continue d5. It's very important to continue with your plans. He played rook h3, so now he defended g3, and now he's kind of threatening g4. So you can already see he lost knight h4, rook h3, he lost 2 tempi, just to keep my knight away. And my piece, my counterplay on the queen side is just coming naturally. So I played queen a5. Another good move was knight a5, by the way, but Queen a5, I decided to play on. He played king d1. I played d4. Now posing the question. Again, I want a tempo. And you can see after queen a5, again he has to react to my move. So he's not even close of attacking me on the king side. Meanwhile, I'm already making a lot of progress with my pawns and my pieces. So king b1, b4, knight e2. And here, unfortunately, the viewers can see the move, but here, the quite brilliant move, b3, which is quite logical. And the reason is why it's illogical is because I'm attacking in a way, but I'm exchanging queens. So it's not logical. However, it doesn't matter what pieces come off the board, what stays on the board, and where my pieces are gonna land at the end. So to really appreciate the value, we have to continue the game of b3, value of b3. So he took knight takes. So there's always in French, you always have the big question about the bishop on c8, right? So my bad bishop. That's the whole claim of it. So my bishop can easily go to d5 or e8, g6. My knight can jump now to e3. His knight and his bishop on c1 are still not fully developed, they're not active, they're participating. His rooks are also uncoordinating. So in general, this position is already struggling. And I'm just making normal looking moves, right? I haven't played any. I'm just playing where I should be playing at. Only b3 is the move that you have to find. You have to appreciate that taking off the queens were important than keeping them on, because the queen was doing an excellent job defending the dark squares. So the game continued with knight c3. I played knight e, which is again a dilemma, which is actually a tough move. So I took on f1, and rook takes f1. And why this is a tough move is because you have to remember that I played with the knight from g8 to e7 to f5 to e3 to only take on f1, a piece that didn't even develop. So in that sense, I just waited for tempo just to exchange a piece that didn't develop. But again, the concept of it's not important what pieces you change, but what stays on the board. In this case, he just lost the protector of the light squares. And the bad bishop that everyone thinks the French defense has, is going to become a very important piece, and the piece which actually will decide the game.
Just lift it to g6. Just picture it on g6 and you see how powerful a piece is going to be.
Yeah. Already said it out loud. Even though if I played bishop e5, so attacking the rook. If he acts on my knight, then I'll have the open a file for operations. And he still works because he still has to solve the problem of the pin f file. So he played rook d1. I played takes, bishop c4 check, king b1. So now we have a target on the p pawn. So what you have to do, develop double up on the b file. So all these moves are natural, so I blitzed them. Played knight d3, because now I'm putting pressure on d4 as well. I'm just telling my opponent or reminding my opponent that it's not only the b pawn he has an issue with, also the d pawn. So he played rook e1 back, just playing solidly. Now I decided I have to bring another piece to the fray. So a5, a4, and here, so he played rook b1. And this is the moment which, I think this is the most difficult move in the game. Even though if you're a French player, you should find it instantly, this move. So, if you look at this position, there's one piece of mine that's actually not doing its proper job. And I remember I showed this to my students in Holland, and I remember they're all going with a3, going for the kill, trying to make a tactic work.
Okay, Jasel, now I see what you're saying.
Sorry?
When I said the move earlier on, I didn't see this position. So I just understood what you're saying with that. I didn't see this position before. So now I see it. Alright, guys.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's see. 15 seconds. Let's see the moves that come in.
So I played bishop b5.
Alright.
Rook e3. And now I played bishop e8. So really taking the bishop to a better diagonal.
Yeah.
Bishop g6. And not only that, but I'm also attacking d4. Everything else is collapsing. Bishop g6 check, which is almost material. So the end was just.
Yeah, it comes back to what you said. The hardest attacking move to see is the retreat.
Yeah.
Just the hardest attacking move to see.
But this game for me is by far my most brilliant one I played.
Yeah, I love
logical moves.
Yeah. And I like that last bishop b5 e8 g6. I like that. Nice. But not many people can say they beat a GM on Saturday and travel to another country and beat another one on Sunday. That has to be a nice feeling. Not many people can say that.
Yeah. It's a very nice feeling. Even though the one of Saturday I kind of swindled it. But this one I was definitely proud. This is my proudest game so far.
Don't worry. We only look on the end result. We don't look at whether it's a swindle or not.
Yeah, exactly.
So Jasel,
I also got swindled many times. So
yes.
Just take it as you can get it.
So there are two last questions for us. One which we ask every single week. The first one is, what's the biggest obstacle that you have had to overcome as a chess player throughout your career? So that's the first one.
Yeah. So biggest obstacle. I think for me, in believing that I could reach heights of IM, beating GMs. I remember with 2 years ago, I beat my first GM. So it took me quite a while before I beat the first one. It's always this like sort of respect that you give them, unnecessary respect. So that was definitely an obstacle for me to like put them that I could compete with them and also beat them. When I was back on the Aruban, another obstacle was of course playing against stronger opponents and improving my game, which, a matter of fact, I only became much better in chess when I moved to Holland. And it's just logical in every reason. Like on the Aruba, we didn't have feeder tournaments. We didn't have strong players to be trainers. And of course, chess isn't that popular in Aruba, so sponsorship was also very limited. And traveling was always expensive. So it was also an obstacle with having the tournaments, the practice you need to become better. So yeah, that's about it for me, to sum it up.
Before I ask you the last question, I need to congratulate you on that article in ChessBase. So for everybody watching, go to ChessBase. Let's read up on Jasel. It's an honor to get in there, and I was really, really proud when I sat and read the article on you. Really proud. I was just beaming and smiling. So congratulations on that. You have, for me, it's difficult because I saw you from young. So I was about to say that you are a young player, but you are now mature. You have now matured as a player, and you have 13 and 14-year-olds listening to you right now. The future of Caribbean chess, the next generation. I want to close by you telling them, just giving them your advice. What do you, Jasel, and let's dress it up properly, International Master Jasel Lopez, the first Aruban International Master, one of the pride and joys of the Caribbean. What advice do you have to this generation of players coming up that's looking to become grandmasters themselves? What do you have to say to them?
I think everything starts first, loving the game. Like, have this absolute love, passion for just working on chess. I mean, chess in general is a game to keep you motivated. You really have to have the love for it. You really have to dedicate those hours on working on your tactics, reading books, studying your endgames. It's a collective of many small things which will eventually reach you that level of GM and IM. Also, would like to say that by watching banter blitzes by strong GMs, looking the way they think, and not only that, but also what they fail to see. Like for me, for instance, I always miss this confidence, which I never have. But when I was seeing their banter blitz, I watched what they made mistake of. Like, okay, they're great, of course, they're stronger than us, but not that strong, and we're not that far away as Caribbean. It's just we don't have the opportunities which they have. So I would recommend definitely watch banter blitz, all the usual stuff of tactics, but especially banter blitz once specifying it. And another important thing for me is having the right friends, like ambitious people and people that can motivate you. And yeah, you would rather prefer stronger players than you, but even if they're equal level or a bit lower than you, it doesn't matter that much. As long as you guys can motivate each other and pursue the same goals, everyone with their own path, of course, but everyone supporting each other.
Beautiful.
So make friends, make chess friends, love the game, and watch the strong players play chess and commentate. That would be my advice.
Alright, so I just found out who the player was. They came out for you tonight, Jasel. So the player was a FIDE master. Yeah, the last one was a FIDE master.
From which country?
Caribbean, a Caribbean FIDE master. So he said he wants to remain incognito, but he just WhatsApp me telling me who it was. Yeah, they came for you today. They came for you today.
Yeah, I think.
Because he normally plays on another handle, so but he asked me not to give out who it is. So all I'll say to you is that they came for you today. It's a Caribbean, a known Caribbean FIDE master. A strong Caribbean FIDE master. And very experienced.
Oh well. No, I'm not thinking. I appreciate it.
Hey, so you, what I can say is you drew out all of the strong players from multiple countries. You heard them come on and told you hello, and so you know definitely that you're respected. And this was a true honor, my friend. I've watched you growing up from your 13, and I heard great things about you from that age, and I'm proud to see it come through to this. More importantly, though, I hope to watch your journey to the next level. I'm not where you are right now with saying that you're happy with the IM. I think it's wrong to be happy with the IM. I think you should be happy with the IM when you have exhausted everything. And as such, at 26, the journey is, you're not even midway your journey. Your journey has begun. You have done well in the last 4 years. You have made strides in the last 2, tremendous strides. So I'll be annoying you. I can tell you that. And for the mere fact that you brought out so many countries to listen to you and so many young players to learn from you, you know that there's admiration for you right now. And we're cheering for you. This was
thanks, man.
Yeah.
It means a lot to me. It really means a lot to me. Like I remember 2010, so the first sub-zonal I played in Bahamas. I remember me and my brother. That was the first regional tournament we played in.
Yeah.
And I never forget the first time I managed to beat the FIDE master, which was a countryman of yours,
Warren
Elliott.
Warren, yeah.
And I always have this respect for you guys, for the generation before me. So like we were talking about, like for instance, the top 4 of Jamaica in my head was Alan Ward, Joan Pitterson, Shane Matthews, Dwayne Rowe. Those were the guys that I used to follow Olympiads with. Saw you guys fighting the GMs in Olympiads. Some of you guys succeed, some of you guys don't, but you guys put up the fight. You guys motivated me in a way. When I talk about Aruban, it was you guys that I kept pushing on in a way, like trying to reach you guys' heights. And once I reached it, I should switch my sets to reach more and something took me a while, but in other words, if it wasn't for you guys, it was for Barbados, for Danny Gavin, for Terry Farley, for Warner Del Isle, and for Trinidad, Ryan Harp, which were those were the names for me that after I became #1 of Aruba that I used as motivation to reach your heights. So for that, I would like to thank you guys for
I appreciate
passion.
I appreciate hearing that, and you can see from my smiles and how much I've said to you that I am so proud of what you have done after. So proud.
Yeah.
And again, you're not going to stop. Not going to stop there. Steel Pulse, Jasel, you have moved back to Aruba. You're continuing your coaching career, right? Are you taking students now?
Yes.
Right. So
I recently. So I have to get used to things on Aruba, especially with the Corona thing as well. And I'm also gonna continue my scum. So I have some things I have to start thinking about what I'm gonna do with my life.
So what I'll do.
So far, when it comes to. Sorry.
No, I'm saying what I'll do.
So far with.
Continue, Jasel.
Sorry.
Continue.
No, so far with chess, I still have to think about things. What I really want to achieve yet. But I'm definitely gonna coach more. And one of my ambitions is actually try to coach one of the kids that will reach eventually the GM or higher heights. It would be lovely.
That would be, I have that as one of my aims to my friend. So Steel Pulse, if you're interested in coaching, in Jasel coaching you or anybody that you know, hit me up. I will give you Jasel's number. I'll give Jasel's your number. And you guys can take it from there. Because he's a well-grounded player, positional, from young, positionally grounded, and definitely will lead any player, irrespective of age, to higher heights. So just hit me up and I will get to Jasel, exchange numbers with you guys, and you can take it from there.
Yes.
So Jasel, it has been my pleasure, and thank you definitely for coming on and sharing this experience. And as I said, your journey isn't finished, so we're going to be following your journey further. And one of the things that I will look to be, I think within September to October, is organize a tournament. So I'll be organizing a tournament where I'll have the masters, both a master tournament and probably an open tournament, which I'll invite you to, and have throughout the Caribbean and other players to actually partake. So that'll be online and I'll tell you about it. John, I'm not seeing anybody to raid. I looked already and I'm not seeing any of our usual people to raid. So I've seen everybody saying raid. Who should we raid, guys? So give me exactly who that I can type in. So I don't know the name, so give me the name and I will type it in. So I'm seeing a number of Rachels. Which Rachel? Give me the full name. So I'm seeing Chess and Study. So Chess and Study. Chess and Study. Okay, so let's go. So guys, we'll be raiding Chess and Study. So again, let's start this raid and I thank Jasel. And we'll be going over. Let's see what Chess and Study is about. And
thanks
support. Yeah, boy, it's been a pleasure. We'll continue talking through this. So let's raid now. Let's see what Chess and Study is, Jasel. Alright, I'm seeing. So the raid has begun.
Yeah, we already raided again. But I can't actually see the stream. So
yeah, I'm looking for it also. Yeah, I'm going there also. Alright, Jasel. So my brethren, we talk later. And this will be up for us to see. So let me try this chess on. Oh, I can just do it on this one that we can see, Jasel. So hold on.